How about this one? I call it bold and brash.
More like belongs in the trash.
My name is Kaylin Countess, and you could say that I live, breathe, and lose sleep over the fine arts, especially within McHenry High School. Way before I was voted most creative in preschool, I'd love to draw and smash the keyboard on the piano, knowing that it made people smile, even just a little bit. My drawing continued and my instrument switched from piano to flute to tuba, but that love for all things fine art stayed steady and I pursued it well into high school. Here at McHenry, I'm heavily involved with the theater, art, and music programs. The fine arts kids are more of a family to me than a bunch of students, and even though I love them with the passion, it's not enough to protect them from the critique they often receive. Even personally, when people ask me for my hobbies and classes, I'm frequently met with snide criticism. The arts don't really matter career-wise, so why bother? And you can't get a scholarship from being a good crew member, why don't you do sports? Regardless of the criticism I receive and the small talent I may possess, the amount of raw talent I witness on a day-to-day basis is breathtaking, yet they're all still met with the comments like mine. We need to let these people shine like the true stars they are.
I am Crystal Darrow, and the arts have made a huge impact on my life and become a part of who I am. The arts have allowed me to express myself when words have escaped me. Over time, as I got better and better, I wanted to pursue the arts as a career, but I've always been told that it's just a hobby, and if you're serious, you need a real career to fall back on. Everyone had me thinking that I should be going into the medical field, and for a long time, I fooled myself into thinking that was what I really wanted to do, because I felt that was what was expected of me. The arts are different now than they used to be. Not everyone is going out there to be the next Picasso or Da Vinci. I have a dream of going into video production and edit films, commercials, you name it. Just because it may not be what others want you to do, you still should follow your dreams. The negative comments and shunning of the arts needs to stop, so that those who want to pursue a career don't feel alienated anymore. We don't do this to those going into medical or engineering, so why does it happen with the arts?
My name is Emily Crease, and art has been a huge part of my life since I was able to hold a crayon. I have a very personal connection to this topic, because in 8th grade I wanted to take art in high school but chose to take Spanish instead. I was convinced by peers and society as a whole that Spanish would be more beneficial towards my future than an art class would be. I feel like when many people hear the word art, they think of fancy sculptures and the Mona Lisa and Van Gogh cutting his ear off. It isn't like that anymore. Art careers have changed with the times and become more modern. As I learned this, I felt inspired to consider an art career again. The fine arts don't just matter to the theater kids and the art kids and the music kids, but also people involved in sports like me. They really do matter to a variety of people. So these talented individuals of all kinds should continue to do what they love. They shouldn't quit something they're passionate about. I know I did for a while, but nobody should have to do that. The discouragement needs to stop.
You may have seen portrayals of starving artists within the media on a frequent basis. Fine arts careers tend to face negative stereotypes like this often, and although it makes for a good laugh, they're not necessarily true. It's said not to be a promising field, but in reality there are many opportunities for careers. Yet, high schoolers are commonly pushed away when trying to pursue many of these fine arts careers. Those who enjoy engineering are easily ushered into becoming an engineer, and people who find interest in the medical field are welcomed with no issues. Then why are people who may want to be an artist, actress, musician, designer, or anything along those lines so frequently and harshly stopped? Roadblocks and negative connotations should not be raised to discourage those who find interest within the fine arts, whether it be for fun experiences, further education, or careers, but should rather become more accepted and allowed for just as much of an equal opportunity as any other field of study.
After hearing from students who had teachers or counselors criticize their career path, we searched all around East Campus for one of these infamous foes of the fine arts, so we could hear their side of the story. But when put in front of a camera, these people would put on a mask and pretend to say kind words that weren't true. Although we couldn't get a truthful answer at school, when looking online we found articles upon articles written by people not afraid to voice their opinion. One guy listed art history as one of the 10 most worthless college majors and said, "Why should we care about old art when we can just watch movies and television shows that reduce once glorious dead cultures to an endless parade of bare breasts?" Even though many people are hesitant to confess to it, there is a large amount of art prejudice in our society. You can run, but you can't hide, art haters. We know you're out there.
85% of people believe there is a prejudice against fine arts careers, yet 67% of McHenry High School students have taken a fine arts-related class on their own accord. The arts are not only for fun, but they additionally help educationally too.
Yes.
Yes. Frequently?
Yes.
Yes. Annually. Actually,
Weekly. Weekly.
less now that I'm not teaching theater, but I do see it. I see kids all the time being told to choose AP Science over AP Art or AP Music Theory, or even just regular art or music class or theater class because of the, that's not a real career. You can't really do that.
I think not only does it take away from students learning where their strengths are, being told, and this isn't music, this isn't theater, this isn't art, I don't care what the discipline is. When we pigeonhole students and say, this is the thing you're good at, why are you wasting time on that thing over there? I think it really inhibits our students.
Like he mentioned about how the arts allows our students to see into their lives. It also allows them to make sense of other areas of the educational world. Like how many times have I used theater, music, or visual arts to help explain political concept or something, or a language concept in one of my classes. And that's kind of sad that you're closing off those avenues of thought.
I think there's so few areas right now that students can study that are all inclusive. And it's not to downplay the role of math or the role of science or whatever it might be, but in a math class, the blinders go on and you study math. We spend most of our time, in a science class studying specific scientific concepts. Within the arts, the nature of creating art requires me to reach outside. What is the inspiration for this piece of music? Why am I painting this painting? What is this performance about? And we have to understand the social, we have to understand the scientific, we have to understand the political. And by requiring that in order to study the arts, we make more complete individuals.
Within classes, 81% of students believe that pictures and images help them better understand information. 91% believe that videos or movies help them better understand information, and 57% say that music helps them concentrate. We need people to help further these industries, not stop them. So why is our school lacking higher level, more experienced fine art classes? Currently, McHenry High School offers 3 AP Art classes: AP Art History, AP Music Theory, and AP Art Studio. There are only introductory classes for photography, Photoshop, and video production, which are important and rising careers within the fine arts industry. In addition, other introductory classes offered are Introduction to Theater, Exploration in Art and Design, Introduction to Music Theory, Concert Band, and Graphics.
This is Lauren Parra, and this is Tom Mann. Lauren and Tom are both MCHS graduates, graduating from McHenry East Campus in 2013. In high school, Lauren and Tom were at the top of their games, Lauren further developing into a phenomenal artist, and Tom starring in some lead roles such as Gooper in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Freddie Trumper in Chess, Bottom in A Midsummer's Night's Dream, and Bill Calhoun in Kiss Me Kate. Although people often attempted to steer them away from the passions they had, Lauren and Tom still went forward with their aspirations. Lauren enrolled at the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, or MIAD, and is pursuing a degree in communication design and a double minor in illustration and business. She loves the atmosphere and specificity within the Institute and loves her peers and professors. Tom is enrolled at Drake University and is pursuing a BFA, Bachelor's in Fine Arts, musical theater degree with a focus in dramaturgy. His peers and professors continue to inspire him, and he has found genuine happiness in being able to learn and perform in the theater. Funny enough, at the end of the interview, the two of them only had one extra comment when asked about pursuing their career or careers in general, and it was do whatever makes you happy. So I don't think people realize that there are careers affiliated with the fine arts that aren't necessarily I'm a performer or I'm an artist who only works in oils, but that
Or I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I either do it or I
teach
teach.
it.
But there's so many like small sub-career fields I don't think people realize. Do you think that's a factor of why there's such like, I don't want to say like prejudice, but just people are so narrow-minded to going into a fine arts field? Do you believe it's just lack of education or lack of knowledge?
I'm sure that's part of it.
That's a huge part of it. I think the other aspect is when we look at other disciplinary areas, we have long-standing, I mean, decades upon decades of experience with, what's it mean to be an engineer? What does it mean to,
Doctor.
be a doctor?
Lawyer.
What is it to be a journalist? When you're looking at arts fields, not to say that they're brand new and have just showed up out of nowhere, but something like arts therapy, arts management, are relatively new fields as a focus of arts being attached to them. Therapists have used the arts as a means for working with patients for millennia. But to say the arts are the way that we're going to manipulate therapy is really a new thing and have a focus in that. Management of business has been something that's been out there for, since money was, created first. But to specialize and say there's special needs that the arts have that other areas don't, and you need to understand the arts in order to manage them, is something that's fairly new. So I think it's partially a lack of education, but partially the fact that our students' parents didn't have that as an option. Arts management, arts therapy, whatever it might be, wasn't around as a field of a valid learning and valid career path, where it is very much so now.
A couple of different things. I knew I wanted to do something with art since middle school because that was when I really developed a passion for art, but I wasn't really sure what. And then I took Graphics Doc 1 and I just decided that I really liked it and it was something that I was actually really good at, so. Definitely, because I think everyone's under the illusion that there isn't a whole lot of options or that you can't be successful, that it's just something people do if you're not good at anything else, which isn't true. You go into art if you have a real passion for art because you have to deal with people like that. Like if you aren't passionate about it and you're not good at it, then you're not going to want to put up with people judging you. But, because there's that prejudice, I feel like not as many people go into art, so there's more opportunities for the people who do because there's more openings.
So why does this matter to you? Without professional actors and crew members, wonderful plays and musicals that many people enjoy attending would not be possible. Without musicians, Beyoncé would have no competition to smash. Without artists, Bob Ross would never be able to paint those happy little trees. Without filmmakers, you would never be able to spend your entire Saturday watching Netflix.
Without the fine arts,
Life would ultimately be
Bleak.
The